Like, you just go around in a roundabout way. I forget why I'm upset.
Maybe because there's nothing for you to be upset about.
Katisha's biggest offense is making me side with Javven. Girl, I can never forgive you for this. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love is Blind UK Season 2, Episode 13 and 14, After the Altar. My God. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So everybody meets up at this mansion type house thing. I said, okay, Netflix, raising the budget, because this was better than what Netflix US did for the After the Altar, where it wasn't Salvador's birthday. Whose birthday was it? But Salvador was there, Mallory was there. That looked rinky-dink. This looks real nice. So everybody's showing up, right? When Javven was talking to the guys, he was like, yeah, I have no problem greeting Katisha. He goes over to Katisha. He gives her a handshake. Katisha is annoyed. Now, Katisha, Katisha, I thought you ain't like that man.
Oh, you're gonna shake my hand. Oh, right. Hi.
I thought you were upset with that man. You blocked that man. And now you're upset that he gave you a handshake. Not because he shouldn't have given her a handshake. But later, she's gonna say, it could have been like a hug. Why would he hug you? Why would he hug? Wait. Ooh. Okay, fine. Then there's this guy, Charlie. He speaks to both Barta and Katisha, and he's like, I think you guys need to talk to your exes. This guy's from the pods. We don't really know him for real. I think you need to speak to your exes because it's getting weird.
It's better to just speak face to face, back and forth on socials.
What do you mean back and forth on socials?
He done something for clout.
You weren't in a relationship with him. What did happen happened between me and him. So your opinion's obviously very biased. Grilling from Charlie there.
You handled it very well.
I'm sorry, guys. At this point, both Barta and Katisha were giving weird to me. Barta's gonna redeem herself, but Katisha, I don't know. Maybe one of y'all in the comments can explain to me Katisha's behavior, because right now I'm not understanding it. Both women basically said they want nothing to do with their exes, yet when their exes treat them as if they got nothing going on, they're upset. Why aren't you looking out for me? Why didn't you hug me? Why are you treating me like a stranger? I thought that's how y'all wanted it. I'm confused. Now, from Barta's perspective, I can understand why she's telling Charlie, listen, you weren't in my relationship. You don't understand my hurt. Please remove yourself. I get that. But however, if you're subbing this man online to this day, well, I don't know about today, but to the day of filming, it kind of gives it you're still hung up on that man, right? So clearly there's things that need to be addressed. Clearly y'all are saying one thing, but feeling another thing. Both these women love to confide in each other. I think they need to diversify their friend portfolio and speak to some other women. Now, somebody who has the right to be upset with their ex, who's not actually their ex, is Sarover. Because Cal is actually, sorry, Cal gives peace of shit.
Hi, Jed. Mate, good to see you again. You okay?
Oh. Ew.
Cold shoulder. Been 11 months now since we split up, so there's no right or wrong, is there?
No.
One of you guys made a comment. I didn't go fact check, so I'm going to just take your word for it. You said that in the UK, you can file for divorce as a sole entity. You don't need both parties to get the ball rolling. So the fact that he wanted to hit up Sarover so that she could start it is odd. He could have just done that himself. And he keeps making it seem like, oh yeah, the girl just wants to make me look bad and all this kind of, you're making yourself look bad. Sarover doesn't have to do anything, and Cal comes across like an asshole. She doesn't have to feed some kind of narrative. You do that all on your own. Jed asked Cal about his relationship and why Sarover is feeling the way that she's feeling. And he's like, I'm confused. I don't even know why she's upset. Didn't we move on? I have to move on with my life. And under normal circumstances, yes, I would understand, but you're literally holding on to the marriage for whatever reason. You're doing things that you know are going to hurt Sarover. Of course she's going to be irritated with the way that you're moving. So then he's going to say, well, there's no right and wrong way to do things. There are wrong way to do things, and you're doing all of the wrong things. You're doing all of them. So then he's going to say, you know what, if I've done wrong, I'll raise my hands up. Well, that's a lie. Because even at the reunion, when he was called out on his wrongdoing, he's defensive. He will never accept fault. You know what, Cal, if you're one thing, you're consistent. Because at the reunion, you weren't accepting fault. And even now, you're not accepting fault. Then you were an asshole. Today, you're an asshole. Like, you are consistent. We love that for you. So Ashley, who had previously said she wanted nothing, well, she wanted to know nothing about what Billy has going on. She now wants to take him aside to say, okay, I know we're in a weird place, but let's just be cordial. Let's not do the whole drama thing. And he agrees. She later talks to Sarova, who says she wants to have a similar conversation with Cal, but Cal is just a hard person to speak to. Girl, we see it. 100%. So sorry you had to deal with this man for even 5 minutes. Like, he is, ugh, yuck. She also says that she considered him trying to hug her as him crossing a boundary. I would agree. In general, you kind of have to feel it out if somebody wants to hug you or not. And more so when you have done wrong towards that person. You don't have access to me like that no more. Don't try to hug me. Don't touch me. No. Barta ends up talking to the women about how good and bad her last year has been. And part of the reason why it was bad was, yes, the breakup, but also some health concerns that she had faced.
I've allowed my walls to come down. It really put my life into perspective. I was on a mission to get married and to have a family. Obviously affected my relationship with Jed. I need to slow it right down. I wasn't maybe as open to letting him lead.
Now, I never expected Barta to admit that she was being difficult in her relationship. I said, oh, okay. Because for the longest time, Barta was like, it's Jed, it's Jed, it's Jed, it's Jed. It's not me, it's Jed, it's Jed. But now she's like, well, I could have been a bit softer. I could have allowed him to lead more. I didn't have to be so hard-headed in my relationship. So her health issues were that she found a lump, or the doctors found a lump, and she does have a familial history of cancer, so that really scared her. And that fear manifested in two different ways. It caused the demise of her relationship because she's used to just fending for herself, and this was another thing she would just have to deal with on her own. And then on the other hand, because she felt so vulnerable, she really expected Jed to come to her defense when the internet was cooking her, and the fact that he didn't just made her feel even worse about herself. So I'm glad that she's admitting that she could have done better in the relationship, and now having the added context of her going through health issues makes sense. Now my question would be, if you're saying you love this person, because she's going to talk later about how great the relationship is or was and all of that, which is a little bit confusing for me. If the relationship was so great and you experienced this health issue and you planned on marrying this person, why didn't your mind go to, well, let me share this with him and give him an opportunity to show up for me? I get some things were hard, like the money thing they didn't agree on and stuff like that. But like, your partner is supposed to be there for you through thick and thin, through sickness and in health, for richer, for poor, like all that kind of stuff, right? Here you are going through a potential sickness. Allow your partner the opportunity to be there for you. Because respectfully, you can't really be mad at him not showing up for you when he wasn't given the chance. Like, we literally saw Jed trying and her shutting him down. So was that his fault? No. I also didn't understand why Barta was posting negative things about Jed, because even at the point of filming, it seemed like she still wanted him back into her life to some degree. And it's like, if this person is somebody who you regret losing, how is posting negative things about them going to get them back? I don't know. Anyways, Cal is talking to the guys, and he basically says he had the right to post his girlfriend. He doesn't think that was shady and all that. And also, he's like, I was blocked. How did I know she was going to see that? And it's Javven, of all people, who's like, now, come on, Cal. You know that's some BS.
You knew Soraya was going to see it, bro.
She blocked me?
Yeah, but you knew that someone's going to screenshot it.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
This man is purposefully obtuse, and it pisses me off. He's not a dud. He's not a dunce. He's not stupid. He knows what he's doing. If you are some kind of a prominent person, if you post anything even for 3 seconds, people are going to see it, take a screenshot, and send it to the blogs, send it to the person who you're talking to. Like, be so for real. So even if you guys mutually blocked each other, it was going to get back to Sarova one way or another. And on top of that too, didn't they say that they were unblocked for a moment to talk about the damn divorce? That could have been the time where you address this new relationship, especially because this girl is not new. She's been in the picture for a long time now. He also never, I wish the Sorover would have called him up. I know she had a lot going on. She would have called him up on how long this girl has been in the picture. Because he's trying to make it seem like, oh, you know, it just took me by surprise. But then when he was talking to Billy, he's like, yeah, I've known this girl for a long time. She was a client at my gym. Anyways, Javven then says, I think it's unfair for Sorover to be upset because if I don't know what's going to upset you, if you don't say, hey, these are the things that offend me, how am I supposed to know that I'm hurting you? Under normal circumstances, I do understand what he's saying, but in this case, they're literally still married. You posting your next girlfriend is going to piss somebody off, Javven. Be so for real. The next day, Javven and Katisha have a conversation where they talk about where things went wrong. Basically, because Javven was going on podcasts, but she specifically names Will's podcast and talking ill of her and what she perceives is ill talk, that is what caused her to have this animosity towards him.
Reasons for the handshake?
I think that I shouldn't pretend. I wouldn't hug someone that has blocked me.
Do you know why I blocked you?
I can't think of anything.
Oh, yeah. She tried to come back as if, like, I was being beggy.
You and Javven, you ended on the show. You guys kept talking after the show. He went on a podcast, you were upset, blocked him. You come on this thing, on this reunion after the altar thing, you're upset he doesn't want to hug you, and then you're saying he one of those podcasts making me look like a beg. Are you not? I don't know, guys, it's giving beg to me. Like, this is not even a word of mouth thing. We're seeing Katisha's behavior as is, and it does give off beggy. I'll be so honest, it does. I get that she didn't appreciate Javven going on different podcasts, you know, speaking about her, saying, oh, she just wanted me, but that's what it gives. That's what it gives. He shouldn't have done that. Then Javven is going to say that same thing that he was saying to Cal. Basically, like, if you don't say to me, hey, these are the things that will offend me, I would appreciate you not acting in this way, then how would I know that I'm hurting you? And in this case, I do kind of understand. Because for him, he was like, you're upset about the Will thing, but I was talking this way to everybody. And let's be honest, Javven was talking this way on the show. And Katisha stuck around, which is why I started to turn on Katisha, because I was like, girl, the man is showing you who he is, and you're sticking around. What, like, at this point, I'm led to believe that you're okay with it. You know? So I feel like the way that Javven speaks has been consistent. And so he's like, I feel like you're picking and choosing at this point. So until you tell me what it is that's pissing you off, I'm not really going to know, because I've been myself the whole time. She's then gonna turn around and say, oh, am I supposed to just tell you how to behave? No. But if you want a relationship with this person who has shown themselves to be quite consistent at this point, you're going to have to outline the things that you do and don't appreciate so that he doesn't hurt you moving forward. It seems like Javven doesn't want to purposefully hurt her. I don't know, maybe he does. It seems like he doesn't purposely want to hurt her, so he's going to have to know what are the things that hurt her so he can stop doing those things. So then she takes an opportunity to outline the things that she wished he would have done. One of them was that he was going on podcasts diminishing the relationship, and she would have hoped that he spoke about more of the good times. She's then going to say, you know, sometimes you talk around in circles and you make me forget why I was even upset. I think you do that to yourself. And we're going to move on before I start to get confused. Barta and Jed have a conversation. Thankfully, this was more productive than whatever Javven and Katisha were talking about. They were being friendly at first, but then they obviously have to address what she's been posting online.
I'm sure you've seen the not so nice stuff online.
We've had like very good chat, didn't we? I just don't know why it kind of did another little nosedive.
I was the luckiest girl out of them all.
Yeah, we did have some good times, and that's what was so annoying.
I don't hate you still till this day.
Not gonna lie, you're confusing me too. Similar to Katisha. She's gonna say that they had a conversation. We heard Jed speak about this conversation as well. And she felt like things ended on a good note. So she expected him to come to her defense when online chatter was, you know, going so left for her. But I'm confused because earlier when she spoke to the girl, she was like, oh, he was acting like everything was fine. You know how he is, like jokey, and he just completely dismissed my feelings or whatever. But now you're saying the conversation went well, so well, that you expected him to come to your defense when the online people were coming at you. So I'm confused, sister. I'm confused. Anyways, they both say they witnessed each other liking negative comments about each other. Now, Barta did not denounce that, especially because she's been posting things herself that are negative towards Jed. Jed does denounce that. Now, me personally, I wouldn't put it past him liking negative posts. I think he probably did that. I think he did. He denounces that, but I think that he did that. Either way, she opens up about her health stuff, and she says this is part of the reason why I couldn't just show up fully in our relationship, and she wished even more that he would be around. Again, I say, if you want this man to be around so much, how are you going to get him back posting negative things about him? Like, Barta is often in her head, and I need her to come out of her head and let people know how she feels about certain things. Similar to what Javven was saying, if you don't tell me what you need, it's hard for me to show up for you in the way that you need. Barta then says she was disheartened by Jed's behavior because, you know, they had a great time together. They had so many good moments and he never spoke about those. She even went so far as to say being with him made her the luckiest girl in the world because Jed was so great and she loved him and she wanted to marry him. If that was the case, why did you show up the way that you did in your relationship? Why did you talk about him the way that you did after your relationship? Like, girl, I'm so confused. Between Katisha and Barta, child, no, I root for Barta more. I do. Because Barta's able to be introspective. I really do appreciate that. She literally apologized for the way that she was acting online. She does admit that all of her behavior was coming from a place of hurt, both in the relationship and post the relationship. That I can appreciate. He apologized as well for not showing up for her in the way that she expected him to. He thought that that was no longer his responsibility, and clearly, you know, that's not how she saw things. She also does say that since their relationship, she has learned to be softer. She's learned to accept support. She has learned to love and all of that. And I wish that she had noticed that in the relationship. Maybe they would be in a different place right now. Demila finally arrives. He came like the second day or something, or like the last day. I don't know. They weren't really keeping us in the loop on where we were at. But anyways, he's asked by Sophie, I think it was, what happened between himself and Katisha. And he's like, I mean, we weren't in a relationship. We weren't dating. We were just talking. And I think what makes this thing murky is because they started from a romantic place and then they rekindled, not really defining what it was. And then when things ended, it was also murky. So yeah, there's a bit of confusion here that needs to be sorted out. Then we have the cocktail party, right? Everybody is here at the cocktail party. Barta wants to call out Cal. She had a plan to do this even before the party happened. And she's like, you are a married man. Like, marriage is supposed to be long-term. Marriage is supposed to be A, B, C, and D. Cal is like, I'm not going to take marriage advice from you. Well, he kind of ate you up. He did that one little thing. But anyways, he's like very defensive as always. He's like, I'm able to do what I want to do. I'm not accountable to anybody. Mind your business. Things were starting to get heated. Jed could see it happening. He went over to kind of diffuse the situation, which is good. Jed has learned that Barta wants his support, and he's offering that support. Billy asked Katisha how things are going for her, especially after her and Demola's whatever situationship has ended. And she says that she's annoyed because yes, they were only just talking, but she felt like it was going to go somewhere.
I cared about the situation. We got to a level where we were... Yeah, but he's making it as if I made it a bigger thing than it was.
You've got every right to feel that way. You've got feelings towards him. Stay strong and remember what you want as well.
Let me talk about the both of these people because I think they're both just hurt and they need to sort themselves out. Hurt beyond whatever they had going on. So Demila obviously had a chip on his shoulder. He could not get over the fact that he was not picked. That's a theme that's going on in all these shows. Married at First Sight, that's dropping soon, by the way. Love Island, now Love is Blind. Not being picked, especially for a man, that's a big thing that they cannot get over. Anyways, with Demila, I do understand having that chip on your shoulder. However, you are engaging with somebody who, you know, obviously once had feelings for you. You have to be clear on what your intentions are. You knew what you were doing. He was living in the gray area on purpose so that he could be absolved of any wrongdoing because, well, we didn't have a child anyways. We were just talking. Where was it going? So Demila, he seems like he's a nice guy, but he's that nice guy who's going to eventually be an F-boy because he likes to live in this ambiguous space, and that ain't it. That ain't it. You're trying to come across like the nice guy so much that it's actually backfiring. I think he needs to be more honest about how he actually feels about certain things, but whatever, it is what it is. As for Katisha, she also needs to accept responsibility for living in the gray area. Because yes, you guys were talking for hours on end and all of that, but even you said, that's my friend, I missed my friend. And honestly, she would have been more upset if he didn't communicate the fact that he wanted to pause, because to go from talking all the time to barely at all, that's gonna piss her off whether he's on vacation or not. So communicating that was actually considerate. One thing about, unfortunately, a lot of women, we follow vibes. Vibes, guys, vibes are gonna get you in trouble. I had spoken on one of the Love Island videos about my personal history with one person in particular. We were on and off for a year, and most of that was because of me. Like, I knew there were conversations that we needed to have, but I didn't have them. And then we ended up getting intimate, and I ended up catching feelings for this person who was purposefully keeping me in the gray area. And I knew that. So instead of calling things out to be like, hey, where are we going? So I can manage my expectations, I was just following the vibe. And where's that man now? Non-existent in my life. Complete waste of time. So I get Katisha's feelings getting involved and feeling like, well, this was going to go somewhere. But then it should have been up to you to say, hold on, before I invest so much time, before I get my feelings involved, where are we going? What is the intention of this conversation? Katisha often leads with her feelings, and we only see her analyze things after the fact. I would like for her to do that in real time. So finally, Demola has the conversation with Katisha. He says he's confused because he thought their communication was great. She says that she keeps getting mixed signals from him, mixed messages from him, even though he was very transparent. She says that he was her safe space and it hurt her that he just dipped on her. Bear in mind, he expressed that he was going on vacation and he asked for a pause on their communication. She didn't want to accept that. So he was letting you know. And you, okay, fine. He says that she's the one who wasn't being forthcoming about her feelings. So he felt like he didn't know that she liked him as much as she liked him, but he was still working with the hurt from the show. So he was guarding his heart. And it sounds like he had said that because she said, in your transparency, sometimes you say, yeah, I do feel this way, but then I also feel this way. And then I also. And I get why she thinks that that's a mixed message, but he's being transparent about where he's at. He couldn't fully be open to exploring something because she also wasn't being forthcoming with her feelings. Anyways, they decided to just squash the beef. Personally, she still looked annoyed, but we gotta move on, Shot. We got to move on. On to Cal. Cal is just an absolute asshole. There's no two ways about that. Instead of coming with your tail between your legs, instead of coming even just with a greeting, this man approaches Sorover trying to call her out for being rude.
Quite rude to just turn your back on me like that.
Hi.
Hi.
How's your day going? Now would you like to address what happened yesterday? Did you think it was appropriate to hug me?
I think you're making a mountain of a molehill.
Oh, okay. For me, that would have made me feel really uncomfortable.
Me coming over saying hello is me extending an olive branch, trying to give you a hug. I gave everyone else a hug, by the way.
That wasn't very nice.
To Cal's girlfriend, see your future. See your future. Dealing with Cal right now as he is setting yourself up for a life of deflection, deception, what did I write? Minimizing, defensiveness, an inflated ego. Oh my gosh, you can't tell this man nothing. Cal's way is the only way. Cal refuses to see anybody else's perspective. Cal refuses to take responsibility, to accept fault. Like, he just cannot do it. So to his girlfriend, best of luck to you, girl. I'm glad that Sorover was like, honestly, this is stupid now. We're going back and forth. You're never going to see how you were disrespectful. So let's just call it a day. He goes off still bitching about the whole thing. She cries. And I'm glad that she held her tears until she was no longer in his face, because I feel like even that would have given him the satisfaction of like, wow, I still have a hold on this girl. Ew, no, you don't. Yeah, kudos to her for trying. I definitely think she's the most in the right to be upset out of all of the women. Yeah, child, forget Cal. He's a waste of mental real estate. Lastly, well, not really lastly for the cocktail party, we have Billy and Ashley. Billy was told that he needs to be honest about his dating now. So he tells Ashley that he has put himself out there. He has been going on a few dates. Now, I didn't see him say, I've been going on a few dates with a girl that I've known for a long time, and we're basically in a relationship. She took it well, but maybe she could have taken it well because she didn't know how long the girl had been in the picture. Anyways, she says, go on about your life. Life has to move on. I'm happy. I'm blessed. It's whatever. So happy for them. The episode ends with an update from Bobby and Jasmine. They gave birth. She had to get a C-section. Oh, guys, the lady was already so worried. And then you're telling me I have to get a C-section? I would be terrified.
Baby's heart rate was low. She's been taken in now for an emergency C-section. He's here.
Oh my, hey baby. Hey, Bubba.
Here he is, with a name, Molly.
Yeah.
I do always feel like I'm falling in love with you more and more.
I love you, baby.
Trigger warning, because I just said the thing and I forgot that sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, that was triggering. You should have said something. So trigger warning, okay? This was a reminder for me that I could wait. I surely can wait. And that's interesting for me to have that perspective, because for people who watch all my videos, earlier this year, I did have a miscarriage. And for me, that was so devastating. But then when I look at my life and when I look at the things that I'm prepared for, I don't think I'm ready to be a mama. I think it's okay. It's okay for us to wait. I mean, yes, my husband and I were sad, but like we could wait like one more year. You know, birth is so traumatic for the baby, traumatic for the mama. And that's even if things go right. I'm a Black woman. You know, our mortality rate is high. Mortality. You know, they don't be caring for us in the medical field, you know? So, whoo, Jasmine, kudos to you, girl. Wow, she looks so strong. Women in general. Love women. The baby is so beautiful. I think the baby's name is Marley. Anyways, I thought this was really beautiful. I'm also glad that they showed a realistic journey from Bobby and Jasmine. It wasn't like, oh yeah, baby, no big deal. Or just complete terror as well. It was like this ebb and flow of excitement and worry and fear and all kinds of feelings just for it to, you know, produce this beautiful baby boy. I thought that was a great way to end the season. I heard that Love is Blind UK season 3 is coming in the fall. So stay tuned for that. Until then, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.